Arsenal Fan TV. I'm here with. I remember we met at the Aston Villa game, and you came out with that wonderful, wonderful phrase about you get what you pay for unless you're an Arsenal fan. It's like some people are listening to you tonight because there's a lot of empty seats here tonight. But anyway, the performance tonight, good performance by Arsenal.
It was a good performance, but you know, if you've got ambition, if you're a true Arsenal fan and you've been around the club for a while, this is what we expect, you know. So this isn't anything beyond expectations. I think Arsenal fans are maybe a little bit guilty now after 3 good results, and credit to the lads, that's all they can do. But after 3 good results, we kind of think everything's all right, and everything's not all right. The problems that existed at Villa will still exist going forward because we haven't addressed them. And I'd say, like, you know, it was a horrible situation on Saturday. The lads have responded, you know, the team has responded really well, and they've delivered in a tense situation and stopped it becoming something, you know, really uncomfortable for the fans and for the club. But still, the board haven't delivered, they haven't done anything. It's been 9 days and the situation is still the same. You know, I don't want to walk away from here tonight thinking, oh yeah, everything's all right, because it's not all right. Because if it wasn't all right on Saturday and the board haven't done anything, it's not all right today, just because we've had a few wins, you know. The fact of the matter is the wins have come against opposition that we expect to beat, you know.
But they're tricky games. I mean, Fenerbahce is a trick. They're not a walkover team in Europe. We are expected to beat them, but to go to their place and beat them 3-0. Fulham, I know, I've been there so many times and see us get beat or draws, and we went there comprehensive wins. And we saw on, you know, Sunday, Manchester City go to Cardiff with all the money they've spent and slip up. So.
But, you know, the fact of the matter is, man, you'll always lose games. The English Premier League is the best in the world because it's so competitive. You're always going to lose some games, but if you've got money to spend and you don't spend it, you're guilty of not trying. And not trying is even worse than trying and failing, you know? So we have to at least try, and we're not doing that. You know, I've calmed down since last Saturday, but it's really, I was kind of overwhelmed by the reaction. Like that interview, over 120,000, I think it's 124,000 views. It's absolutely phenomenal. And, you know, for a long time, I've kind of wished that there was a platform up in which Arsenal fans could actually have their voices heard and do something together and make a difference to this club. And, you know, thanks to you guys, I really think you lot are doing the club a service, because, you know, there's exposure behind what you're doing. Like, over 1 million views, all the videos that you did last week. And, you know, I wanted to raise a bit of awareness, if you don't mind, about Gazidis. Again, you know, like, I have got a massive problem with that guy. One thing that Arsene Wenger said 6 weeks before Gazidis joined the club was, we're relying too much on Ken Fryer. Gazidis is going to come in and he's going to take away the negotiations role from me. So Wenger said that. You know, a lot of Arsenal fans talk about who's to blame, you know, who's doing the negotiations. Wenger, November 2008, said Gazidis is taking the negotiations role away from me. So for me, that pins it squarely on Gazidis. Has Gazidis performed in that role over the last, you know, however many years? You know, no, he hasn't. And I was looking at the financial results of the club for last year, and Gazidis took away £2.1 million from this club last year. 1.36 of that was basic salary, 675,000 of that was a bonus. And, you know, I did a bit of analysis, and there was a report that was published last year. For FTSE 250 companies, the CEOs of them companies, if they're turning over less than £500 million, their average salary was £398,000. Now, Arsenal fit well within that. I'm being generous by doing that comparison, because we're £245 million turnover last year. So well under that 500 million threshold. And Gazidis took a base salary of 1.36 compared to 398 average, over like nearly 3.5 times as much. And I just kind of wonder, what has he done to deserve that? The thing that annoys me the most about that is, like, clearly when he came to the table for his own contract, he knows how to negotiate, that man. When it comes to, like, getting players in the club, he's lost it. He doesn't have a clue. And then, you know, that's the base salary, and you've got to question, why is he earning that much if his counterparts are earning less than 3.5 times that? But then you have to look at the bonus. 675 grand he got as a bonus last year. And, you know, if anyone that followed the financial crisis in the banking industry knows that there's a massive argument about bonus culture. And Gazidis getting £675,000 as a bonus, you've got to think, right, on what basis did he get that? The pure reason this club exists, and it was founded in 1886, when we've got over 125 years of history, is to win trophies, to play football. Arsenal didn't win a trophy last year. Like, please remind me if we did, because I didn't see it happen. If we didn't succeed, why is he being rewarded for failure? I don't understand that. Why is Gazidis being rewarded for failure? That's one question I want to know. Like, I'm really curious about that. The fact that he took £675,000 and Arsenal didn't win a trophy. there's a lot of Formula 1 teams that link their bonuses to their performance every Grand Prix. You won't get a bonus unless the team performs. And I think once we start aligning Gazidis' interests to the club's success on the pitch, the club will be run in a different way. You have to think to yourself, when we're putting in bids for Suarez or Benzema, if Gazidis' bonus is linked to our bottom line profit figure, what incentive has he got to go and spend 40 million on a player when he can say, well, actually, no, I'll get a better bonus? I'm speculating here. I don't know what his bonus is linked to, but I would very much doubt that that bonus is linked to Arsenal's success on the pitch. And until that happens, the club's going to continue to be run like this. We need to look at, these sort of things at the club. I think it's personally unacceptable. I really do.
I could speak to you all day. I could listen to you speaking all day. Trust me. I've just got, yeah, getting a round of applause there. And I was going to ask one last thing. If he does, though, go out there before the end of the transfer window and pull off a couple of major signings, will we be able to say, well, job well done? It's
absolutely not, because listen, exactly, too little too late, number one, and that's his job. He got paid £2.1 million last year. That's his job. For £2.1 million, I want him pulling the pints, want him selling the programmes, want him cutting the grass. That's a hell of a lot of money. You look at the average salary, you look at how hard people work to come and afford the tickets here, that's unacceptable, £2.1 million. Personally, for me, what I would say to all of the fans, and I don't know whether anyone will take notice or not, but listen, we can talk as much as we want, but until you start following up your words with actions, you're just wasting your time. I really admire the Black Scarf movement and all of that and the work that they do, but ultimately the board aren't going to feel people wearing black scarves. What I would say to the fans is no pints, no pies and no programmes. The club have got 5 days to respond. Last year, the 6 months leading up to end of November last year, the club made £3.78 million a game in match day revenues. And if we're assuming £46 a ticket, 60,000 fans, that leaves £1.02 million as additional match day income. So that's programmes, that's pints, that's all of that stuff. Until the club start giving something back, I just don't think we should be spending that sort of money. I really urge every single one of the 60,000 people on Sunday that come here for the Tottenham game, if we haven't got in a signing before then, no pints, no programmes, no pies. That's what I would say. The whole reason why we moved here was to compete at the highest level because of that extra revenue. If we take that away from this club, then they'll start taking notice. A lot of fans say let's boycott the games, and I'd never ever do that because the players are being let down by the board. They don't need to be let down by the fans. What I'd say is that none of the additional stuff, I don't think we're asking too much. If I'm saying to fans for 90 minutes, don't have a drink, don't have a snack, go and do it afterwards from the people outside the ground, go and spend your money there. I'm just saying, stay in the stands, make yourself seen. If no one's going to the kiosks, the club are next week when they're looking at all the analysis of the financials, they'll say, do you know what, hold on a minute, we're not getting anything back. If the club go and buy a player in the next 5 days, and I come here on Sunday and we've got a new player, I'll go straight to the club shop, I'll buy the shirt, you'll see me wearing it with his name on the back. I don't care who it is, but not Flamini, because that's a free. But until then, I think the fans need to do something. Either we like a moan, or we genuinely care about the club. And for me on Sunday, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. No pints, no programmes, no pies. That's the message that I'll give out. We've got one game to implement that, and if we don't do it this game, the transfer window's over, the club get away with it.
Well said, well said.